All right, I've got to do something about this, and what I mean by that is, look at this. All this exposed area is not gonna happen. I'm gonna get a new Retrax bed cover today, and I'm gonna show you why I choose Retrax and how I find the deals that I find. I should be able to get a semi-new, used, in decent condition when I get done with it, Retrax bed cover for this truck, Retrax MX, Pro MX on this, which doesn't have the slotted rails. I'll show you guys my process and how I purchased that, and hopefully I'll have it for about under 500 bucks. Now, if you know, that's about a $2,400 bed cover, and I'm hoping to get it for under 500 bucks. Now, again, it's not gonna be brand new, but it's gonna look the same way as if I've had it on this truck for a month anyway. Fingers crossed when I get there and pick it up, it's in the condition that I think it's in. Now, I was always the guy that had the toolbox in the bed of his truck, and I had seen other bed covers before, usually like the canvas type or the roll-up type or the back flips, and I just didn't see that the function was right, or it just was a fit for me. And I had seen the rolling locks, I've had one before, and I always kind of liked that form and function, but the one I had was old and it was kind of messed up, so I never really got to experience it. And so going online and doing my research into looking into a rolling bed cover, Retrax came across, and I just kind of like the way that the Retrax set. I like that you could get the XR style that has the slots and the rails, and I just felt like that was just a better solution. So that was the first one that I ever ended up going with, was a Retrax, and then I bought extra rails. So I went on eBay and I found like a canister of the Retrax that worked for my truck, but I still needed the rails. So what I did is I went online, bought the XR rails, and then I put it all together. So I think I had about $1,000 into it, which was buying everything new. I just had to put the parts together and make it work. And then Retrax became one of my favorite things I had done. I was worried about losing my toolbox because I'm like, what am I gonna do with all my tools? But I decided to get the swing case, and then in my shop, I have my other toolboxes that I put back in there, but I have the toolboxes that keep all my tools in it, and it fits underneath the Retrax. So it's like I have a toolbox. It takes up less footprint. I have more bed space. And the beauty for me having a truck bed cover, especially like the Retrax or something that's metal or durable, one is security. You know, I keep a toolbox back there. I've got my Gen Y hitch. I just put a ladder back there, but the security is nice. Not only that is you get to keep stuff out of the weather. So you can keep golf clubs back here. You can keep other things back here, which is nice to just keep stuff out of the weather. And then another thing too is like not having to secure a load. Like right now, I probably need to secure this ladder, which I probably will just with a bungee cord because I don't want it to fly out of there. So it's like a three-part thing: security, weather, and then just keeping your load secure. I can't see not having a retractable bed cover anymore. Right along with me, we'll go buy this thing real quick. I'll show you my process and how you guys can maybe save yourself $1,000, $1,500 as well by doing the same thing that I'm doing. This one has an issue that I'm gonna fix, which will be pretty easy. It's not overwhelming, it's not overcomplicated. So by the end of this video, I'll show you guys the installation process after I order everything as well. So let's get started and let's go. Man, I love just having the key and then just walking up to the truck and the steps deployed for, what the, well, never mind, didn't work this time. But anyway, steps failed, let's go. Now, I think it's because I had done it a few times, it had stopped doing that. So yeah, anyway, let's get on the road. All right, we got fuel, got a podcast going, let's get on the road. This is something every heavy duty truck should be implementing soon. I'm sure it's coming, but it's just the lane keep assist or the lane centering. So I have cruise control on. You can see that. I have the cruise control set. You can actually see it up at in the heads up display right there. I don't know if you can really see a good eye on that, but I'm just keeping pressure on the wheel, but it turns for you completely. Does everything around. Like this is a turn to the left. I'm not touching anything. It may tell me to keep my hands on the steering wheel in a second, but it just takes the turn, and then it keeps me centered in the lane. You know, I don't have to worry about getting uncentered. Yeah, now it's telling me to keep my hands on the wheel, and it'll kind of ding at you. But just a really nice feature. And something that Ford does too that's pretty neat, they added like an old truck here to kind of show you like, hey, there's a car in front of you, which is pretty neat. They did it with the old trucks. Nice little attention to detail. And then it's adaptive cruise control, so now I'm slowing down to the speed of this truck in front of me. And then all I gotta do is put on my blinker. You'll notice the lines will go away. I actually change lanes into this lane, and then it'll actually start picking up from there again. It'll pick up my speed and continue on and keep me centered. So let me explain a little bit about what I'm doing. Now, this will be my third Retrax that I'm buying. I had a Retrax Pro MX that I converted to an XR. Then I had the Retrax Power Trax, also converted it to an XR style with the slots. The first one I bought off of eBay. I always try to look for them used, because again, in a month, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between a used one and a new one, and I just don't see spending 3-4 times the price for it to immediately depreciate. So what I like to do is try to find them used. I'll look on eBay, I look on Facebook Marketplace, and if it needs a little bit of work or if it needs something, that's okay. There's replacement parts online that you can get for a fraction of the cost, again, of what it would be new. I have a few still in my shop that I need to get rid of. One for my short bed F250, which won't work on this truck since it's a long bed, and then I have an Edwards Pace that I found also on Facebook Marketplace. Was like a month old. The guy ended up trading the truck in and took it off just to get some of his money back. Pace Edwards was nice. The canister was a little bit bigger than what I'm used to on the Retrax. I kind of like the speed of the Retrax anyway, because sometimes the power ones are just a little bit slower. Like I don't know, I'm in a little bit more of a hurry. I don't sit there and want to wait for this thing to slowly go up. Now I will say the Power Trax was much faster than the Edwards Pace, but I do feel like the motor in the, sorry, I said that backwards, in the Pace Edwards is which I think is Lear, that I felt like that motor was a little bit slower, but I felt like it might be a little bit more powerful in the way that it was designed. But the canister housing was much larger to where I wasn't able to fit my auxiliary fuel tank underneath it like I was on the Power Trax from my 250 going to the Chevy 3500. Now what I like to do, and the way I found this one, is I went on eBay, I found one that had some damage to it. Looks like it came off a wrecked truck, because I looked up the place that I'm going to, Cyber Auto Parts, which is in Douglasville, Georgia, about 2 hours away from me. They seem to be like parts remover on wrecked vehicles, and I found this one for $750 on eBay. Now I reached out to them personally, ended up actually finding it on Facebook Marketplace as well, and talked them down to $400. Now I assumed that the keys were going to come with it possibly, and the brackets, and so we talked about $400, and then he ended up actually responding back saying none of that, the brackets were included, nor the keys. So I am going to have to replace that. So I'm gonna see if I can get another $50 knocked off of it. So we'll see when I get there in a second, but $350 is going to be my target goal on this. And again, it looks like one that's been on a truck for maybe a month or two, but I am going to have to get a new side rail. Now the side rail was broken on the, looks like the passenger side rail, and I don't know if it's just when they were cutting it off the truck or taking it off or in the accident. I'm gonna make sure that nothing else is bent or broken or anything else that I can't replace. But for $350 plus $50 to $75 for the keys and the brackets, and then maybe I might be out $200 in the rail if I can't find them used, fingers crossed, or find like an open box on eBay. But that's my goal here, and that's what we're gonna try to do. So $350, another $50, we're at $400, $200 worst case on the rail. I'm in this for $600. And then I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace, I've seen them on eBay in good condition, doesn't need any parts or anything else, for $1,200, $1,300 is kind of the average that I've seen them for. And I'll show you guys some of the ones that I've seen on my Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I just think that I can be in it for even half of that and it would be in just as good a condition. That's just my thing, is trying to find stuff that I am somewhat handy and that I could work on, and that it's not gonna end up costing me a ton of money. We're gonna go over here, try to grab this thing, hopefully get it for $350, if not $400, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. The nice negotiation from $750 down to $400 on it was pretty neat. Let's go check this thing out and see if it's worth the $350, $400 that I think it's worth. So I was gonna record, but the dude didn't seem very comfortable on camera. We got it for $400 and it's in great condition. I didn't see any scratches on the casing or nothing. It's just one bent rail, probably where they took it off and just broke it off of there or something. But everything else seemed to be in great condition. All right, so I've got it loaded in. Now, that's the broke rail. That's the regular rail. I don't want to ride with it sticking up, so what I gotta do is take this screw off, and there's two screws on the back side, and this rail should slide out, and I should be able to turn it sideways enough to where this one can lay down. Get back on the road, start ordering some parts, get this thing on a little bit later. It's just awesome to go 4 hours and still have 501 miles to eat. That 48-gallon tank is just impressive. So I went online and I found a few of them used. I found some for $200 on Facebook Marketplace that have the steak cutouts for them. They were the MX style. Again, $200. I had to drive 2.5 hours for it. I asked them if they would ship them. They said no. Couldn't really find anything else local to me. I found a few more on eBay, but by the time I bought those, I could have probably got something new for a little bit more. And then I also decided that I think I want to go with the XR style, which allows me to have the slots going down the side of it if I ever want to do like a rack rack system or anything like that, I can do it. It's not much more. I've done a little bit of research and I found out, you know, what those prices are. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get the XR. I'm still going to be in it for under what I found a complete used unit for on Facebook Marketplace and eBay by a couple $100. So I'm happy with the prices that I've seen and what I'm going to be in it for. I'm a little bit more than where I wanted to be at on it, but I'm still saving myself from new prices and even used complete units from what I've seen online. Go to realtruck.com, Ford F450. Looks like this one is $449. This is the standard MX rail, but I really want to get the XR rail. Here we go, Retrax replacement XR rails. So $529 versus the other one's $449. So a little bit more for the XR rails, but I think it's kind of worth it. So I did need brackets for both sides, and that is going to come with the XR series clamp and hardware kit. So it's going to have the 2 rails and that. If you have an MX, it's the same canister, but you can get the XR for it. You can do that. Don't be afraid that if you have an MX and you want to upgrade, you can always upgrade and get these. I've done that in the past plenty of times and it works. But what I like to do is come here, see the part number T82384. I'm going to grab that part number and then we're just going to bring it on over into here. We're going to search it and we're going to see if we find it any cheaper anywhere. Right there, we've already $47.32 on e-trailer. Right there alone, I think e-trailer is probably going to be your best bet. So we will double check, make sure it works with the truck. Save a little bit of money right there. And then shipping, we got free delivery. You can always pull up your part numbers and shop around. I'm not telling anybody anything they probably don't already know, but we do need to get keys and we need to get the drain tubes as well. All right, so here's our drain tube kit, $19.99. We're going to get one of those. And then I need a set of keys. Now the key has a code on top of the lock and you get the key based on what code you have. So we'll get the Retrax replacement key and then we'll select which one we have and then we'll get that as well. So $16 plus free shipping. So all in all, about $500 is what I'm going to be in on extra parts, but I am upgrading to the XR rails versus the MX rails. We'll wait for that to get here and then we'll get it put on. All right, so I just got word from my office that all this stuff has come in for the Retrax. So let's head to the office and go put everything on. Kit came with 2 rails, which this is the XR style. The original is the MX style. Already got the new one on this side, which is the broke side that we needed the replacement for. And then now we're gonna put this one on. And all it takes is Allen key bolt goes here. And then you have 2 Phillips screws there, one there. You kind of pull the track out a little bit, this loosens up, then you can slide the new track on and then tighten all 3 of those things on there. And then we're good to go. Dirty, but it works. So the new reels came with a mounting kit, which these go in between each of these plastic Allen heads here. And it actually holds it to the rail. And then you take a Allen wrench and you adjust those out for pitch and for just making sure that it's set properly. So we got 6 of them, 3 on this side and then 3 on the other side. We'll get these in and then we should be good to go. A little dirty, but it works. One thing left we gotta do is install the drain tubes, which are there. Put one on this side and then we drill a hole in that plug there, drill a hole in that plug there, and then feed it through, and then we're done. We got it all installed. You can see the track system here, so if you want to do any sort of like a rack or anything like that, you can. Got it here and here. That's crazy. I put it on yesterday evening, decided to film today, and look at all this pollen that we're receiving down in Georgia. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And everything fits flush. Just had a little bit of rain. I don't know if any water's got inside. Hopefully I did everything right, but let's check this out. So you take it here, we got our key, keep it locked. All right, so let's open it up. Doesn't look like we got any. No water. We should be good. And now what I really like about this system is I can buy those Milwaukee pack out toolboxes there, and they fit super snug. I almost have to kind of like force them in there, but they fit perfectly snug. I'm gonna show you. And they're almost flush to the canister. I keep most of the tools that I don't use a lot, but I need in those, and then I keep like heavy chains and stuff like that in that pack out crate, and it just works. And then the drain tubes that we put in, they go out the back on either side, and they don't get affected by those at all. What's really cool is this system, you can actually set it, I don't know if you saw it, kind of basically wanted to open on its own. It's a spring assisted. Close it, it's really easy to pull it. Did that pretty effortlessly with 2 fingers, and then it just closes, and then this locks around that little, I don't know if you can see that little piece right here, it locks around that, but you can actually open it, and that same setup, there's like a small little piece on the screw right there at my thumb, and it kind of grabs onto a piece of metal, and it allows you to stop it wherever you want to. You can keep it closed if you want something to hang out the bed or anything else like that, but I don't know, I just really like this system setup. It's worked for me and really easy to use, not hard to use at all. Let's kind of show this one more time. I'm just gonna push it just a little bit. Opens up a little bit. I might need to do a little bit of adjusting, or maybe 40 on the rails, but pretty much opens up for you. And then let's show it closing one more time. Again, I'm gonna show with 2 fingers. Locks with this. Close that down. Close this up. And we're good to go. So the toolboxes up there are kind of not very easy to get to. So I'd put a lot of tools in those that I don't need to grab really quick or anything else like that. I keep my swing case here. Swing cases, you just grab that, pull it out to you, unlock it, open it up, and then you have access to the tools that you need that you probably use more often. And then, you know, I got my pliers in here, hammer, drills. This has a spot to put stuff underneath here. It's just my tools I need to grab really quick, really easy to get a hold of. Close it, push it in there, put some WD-40 on that so it doesn't squeak. Then you can close it up. Makes it nice and easy to get to those tools right there. So it really works for me. I don't know if bed cover is right for you, but let me know in the comments. Do you like the Retrax? Do you like the rolling lock? Do you like the back flips? Is there something else that you like that maybe this one's missing out on? Or does this kind of have all the bells and whistles that you need? All right, I'm gonna go watch this thing now. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe and smash that bell for notifications for more videos like this, and we'll catch you guys next time.